Whether it's in travel, communications or daily life, we take a great deal for granted in the modern world. This is particularly true when it comes to our food. Not only is it plentiful, but it's also relatively cheap. This hasn't happened by accident, of course, but is due to inventions in agriculture by ingenious and far-sighted individuals. One of the greatest of these was the 18th century agriculturalist Jethro Tull. He was born into a family of gentry in Upper Basildon in the English county of Berkshire in 1674 and was christened in the parish church of St. Bartholomew in Lower Basildon in March of that year. In his early teens, Jethro went to study law at St. John's College in Oxford. He must have been a bright lad because he was called to the bar on the 11th of December 1693 by the benchers of Gray's Inn when he was still only 19. No doubt he would have made a very good barrister had fate not intervened in the form of a chest infection. For the next few years, Tull lived in the French city of Montpellier, probably because he hoped the warm southern climate would cure his chest infection. During this time, he studied continental methods of agriculture, which would inform his thinking for the rest of his life. By 1700, he was back in Berkshire and moved into this house in Cromarsh Gifford with his new wife Susanna. No longer interested in law, he worked on his father Jethro's farm at Howbury Park, where his house was situated. In 1701, increasingly frustrated by the slowness and inefficiency of seeding by hand, he came up with the idea for his mechanical seed drill that would revolutionize agriculture. Needing only one man to plant seeds accurately in 2 furrows at one time, it accomplished far more than many other workers planting seed by hand. Later, he developed an even faster horse-drawn version. The deeply conservative world of 18th century agriculture wanted little or nothing to do with Jethro or his newfangled ideas. In 1709, he acquired a prosperous farm at Pangbourne near Hungerford in Berkshire. In 1711, the restless Tull was on the move again, travelling throughout Europe for 3 years in search for a cure for his ill health and to study continental agriculture. By the time he returned in 1714, it was a changing world which was increasingly open to his inventions and innovations in agriculture. One of these was a method of ploughing that caused weeds, grass and roots to die and dry on the surface rather than regrow. Perhaps this was what enabled him to grow wheat in the same field for 13 seasons without the use of manure. In 1731, Jethro Tull published The New Horse Hoeing Husbandry, a copy of which book was purchased by none other than John Adams, the second President of the United States. Jethro Tull, the man who revolutionized agriculture, died at Prosperous Farm in 1741 and was buried at St. Bartholomew's Church, Lower Basildon, as requested in his will. This small headstone, with the carving of his revolutionary drill close to the church, is difficult to read and is remarkably modest for the man who enriched so many lives, but perhaps the living monument of what he changed in agriculture is far greater than any bits of stone that we would erect in his memory. Now, here are the directions to the important places in Tull's life in Berkshire as shown in this film. Firstly, to Tull's birthplace at Upper Basildon and St. Bartholomew's Church. Both are very close to Pangbourne in Berkshire. There is an excellent train service from London Paddington to the local station at Pangbourne, where you can phone a taxi to take you to either Upper Basildon or the church where Tull was christened. If you're driving, take exit 12 off the M4 and follow the signs to Pangbourne, firstly on the A4 and then onto the A340. and keep straight on for about a mile until you reach Pangbourne itself. To reach Upper Basildon from Pangbourne, turn into Pangbourne Road by the parish church of St James the Less. After about 1.5 miles, turn right into Aldworth Road, which will take you directly into the centre of Upper Basildon. Sadly, there is no sign of Tull's presence at his birthplace, but the Red Lion in the village is a very good pub for both food and drink, and the surrounding farmland remains as fertile and beautiful as it was in Jethro's time. To reach St Bartholomew's Church in Lower Basildon from Pangbourne, take the first exit at the roundabout by the Elephant Hotel onto the A329 towards Streatley. After approximately 1.5 miles, you come to Lower Basildon, where you take the first turning right after the garage down Church Lane, which terminates at St Bartholomew's Church. When visiting Tull's house, it is not possible to reach Cromarsh Gifford by train, but neighbouring Wallingford is well served by buses, and this is a fascinating and ancient place in its own right. The buses stop right outside the town hall, where a taxi can be hired to take you the short distance to Tull's house in Cromarsh Gifford High Street, with its blue plaque. Travellers by car should turn right onto the A329 from St Bartholomew's Church in Lower Basildon, and then go through Streatley for a further 5 miles, where they will reach a roundabout on the outskirts of Wallingford. Take the second exit off this roundabout into Nosworthy Way. On the way you can catch a good view of the Thames from the Winterbrook Bridge. A little further on there's another roundabout where you take the first exit into a road called Portway. Keep on this road, which is also the A4074, for about another mile and you'll come to another roundabout. Take the first exit off this into a road called the Street. In effect, this is Cromarsh Gifford High Street, so you are very nearly at your destination. Keep straight on for about a mile and you will find Tull's house with its blue plaque on the right in Cromarsh Gifford Street. Little or nothing remains of Howbury Farm, on which Jethro's house was situated. Today, Howbury Farm has mostly been swallowed up by housing and business development, such as here at Howbury Park, just around the corner from Tull's house. But across the road one can still see some of the rich farmland the Tull family worked. And finally, to Prosperous Farm, where Tull did so much of his revolutionary work in the latter part of his life. It still exists and is situated on the A338 road to Salisbury, just outside Hungerford. If you're travelling by car, leave the M4 westbound at junction 14 and then turn immediately left onto the A338 towards Hungerford. After approximately 2 miles you'll come to a T-junction with a mini roundabout. Turn right into the A4 Bath Road and continue to the next roundabout, where you bear left. A short distance on, you'll come to another mini roundabout at the Bear Inn. Turn left towards Hungerford town. This takes you back onto the A338, through Hungerford and towards Salisbury. There is also a good train service to Hungerford from London, but, as with Upper Basildon, there is little or nothing to see here but beautiful countryside. Whilst a sign identifies the farm, sadly there is no sign or monument to mark Tull's presence here.